Other interesting culture news: the Adidas store being robbed as LA burns to the ground. Now, fortunately, I think the Korean convenience stores will be safe. However, for the stores that do not defend themselves to have proper security, they are all screwed. Now, this is brought to us thanks to End Wokeness. He says, quote, "They're protesting ICE by looting Adidas." Which, now that I think about it, I've never owned Adidas, but let's see. Maybe there's a very good reason. Maybe they're actually saving a starving child that was locked in the store. Or maybe the store's on fire, they're just rescuing people. This is for a good cause. So they're not actually stealing the shoes, they're just rescuing folks. Obviously not, but we'll see what they are doing here.
We're the security guard.
Yes, true determination. You're taking that flag in and out of the store. They're stealing, of course. Oh, jeans as well. Jeez. And again, partially part of this is company policy and people telling you not to stand up and do the right thing. But you see the store manager, he's taking a knee, like right by the Adidas logo, kind of minimize himself so people don't realize he's still there. And you can see a lot of guys in sweatshirts and t-shirts and ski masks, which, yeah, the flag manufacturers and ski masks past couple years, they're the ones really making a bank. I don't know why I work in IT. I mean, the flag sales must be through the roof. There's so many things, but I partially digress. Just on a loop right now. Interesting.
We're the security guard.
Yeah. Not seeing ladies. Hey, one effeminate man. He needs to go hit the gym more, obviously. Can't but think if you're just stop this once, it would never happen again. Make an example of some people. Maybe take them to court and sue them for millions. I mean, do something. Now, this went really viral. Got 1.8 million views and 93,000 likes. Oh, I thought we can be the 94,000th like, but nevertheless, I did like it. And just shows the further cultural decay of Los Angeles. And yeah, I mean, the taxes alone, the regulation alone, I mean, I've never lived there, but I can't imagine, yeah, living there. Now, one of the first ones brought to us thanks to Gunther Eagleman, who says, quote, "Makes sense, LOL," getting 208 likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, "The usual suspects, as usual," getting 108 likes. Someone by the name of Wabbits, those not from Looney Tunes universe, I don't believe. It looks like a penguin, actually, but Wabbits says, quote, "What is the race breakdown of the looters in this video?" And the AI, and he asks Grok, the AI from X or Twitter, and Grok says, quote, "I cannot provide a race breakdown of the looters in this video, as the available information doesn't specify this. Many individuals are masked or hooded, obscuring their identities." They also know that news reports in social media, including posts on the riots, there's anti-ICE, focus on events arrest, not to mention of the race, likely to avoid stereotyping. Video details are chaotic, seen at the Adidas store, but no demographic details are available. I mean, I think you surmise that it probably missed some African American as well. You don't have to surmise that, you could see that, but also Hispanic, just based on skin tone and the fact that he's carrying a Mexican flag. I mean, carrying a Mexican flag is, but I think there's a high propensity you're probably from that country. Probably. Now, it's going back to the main comment section. You have Pretty Salty giving a laughing emoji, and you have the, not Moses, but one of the biblical, it was the biblical story where you marked your door so you wouldn't be annihilated. It says, "For locker managers in Los Angeles tonight," and they're painting the Mexican flag on top, getting 768 likes. The Alpha House says, quote, "They were previously peaceful, but once Trump provoked and escalated, looting began," getting 26 likes and 73 comments. Troller says, "Orange Man bad, I know, because the TV told me so." Getting 147 likes. Yeah. It's funny. It's, well, not funny. It's ridiculously, morally, mentally vacuous that the leaders of the hellhole that is Los Angeles and California, they're actually blaming Trump for this, when they've been a sanctuary state for, I think, since 2017. And the most mentally vacuous thing is the LA mayor saying, "Oh yeah, if you just didn't have ICE in here trying to, deport people who are here illegally, none of this would happen." Which, that's been an example of acquiescing from truth and responsibility, which should be leftism in general. Going back to the main comment section, Deborah Anderson says, quote, You call setting LA on fire and throwing cement blocks at police cars peaceful. You are part of the problem. Getting 63 likes. It was mostly peaceful looting. They only destroyed windows, stole inventory. I would say, given their threatening actions and violent propensities, I would argue, if you want to be a lawyer, you could probably say that the store managers had emotional damage or trauma or something like that. Again, they should be throwing the book at these guys. I was about to say metaphorically, but perhaps physically. We don't really do that in America, though. USA says, quote, what a retarded post, getting 11 likes. Scrolling down more and more. Enlightened Patty says, are you retarded, getting 33 likes? And again, this is all responding to the person who said, this wouldn't have happened if Trump didn't try to send the Marines and, secure everything. So this is a very effective post in terms of engagement. Everyone's, ratioing this person. Going back to the main comment section, you have Anthea saying, quote, fascinating behavior with a meme or meme is, if you don't want to sound as fancy saying it. And it's a very popular meme on social media. I forget her name, but it's a gal who studied apes, and that got 277 likes. James Hooligan says, quote, animals. He has a screenshot or a meme of, and it says looting when free food, housing, phones, healthcare, and education aren't enough. They got 56 likes. Oh, this little Dos Equis guy made a comeback. Not really him, but it's a meme with him, credited to Kathy, and it says, quote, oh, I suppose I could try his accent. It'll fail epically. Probably. Well, 50-50 odds. I may be generous, but he says, not a single work, or so. I remember the old accent. Like Dos Equis. Not a single pair of work boots were stolen. I guarantee it. Getting 134 likes. Probably not in my video, but friendly reminder to like this video. Or dislike it. Let me know why. Freedom Nation has a picture made by AI with Trump holding a picture, and the picture says, quote, Democrats are the recent party of destruction and chaos, getting 105 likes. That's ridiculous. I mean, look at the city of Chicago. That city's been very safe and productive for decades, or almost 100 years of Democratic leadership. Haha, kind of dark humor because, yeah, it's been capital. It's been one of the highest murder rates, theft places. I mean, it is the reason businesses and people only move away from Chicago. Scrolling down more and more, you have Athena saying, quote, have you ever been so offended at something that you thought, man, I need to steal a flat screen TV and some Nikes right now? Getting 252 likes. Also, downside technology. Every year, TVs are thinner, lighter, and easier to steal. I mean, they're not even getting good workout anymore when they're stealing these TVs. Decades ago, you had to be pretty buff. I mean, the tube TVs are yay thick or more. I mean, you had to really be in shape, but nowadays, you don't even have to be in shape with Rob anymore in America. In all seriousness, Phillips Truth also says, quote, the fact that these folks commit a crime for a pair of sneakers clearly demonstrates low IQ, getting 165 likes. I mean, it's also probably because they know they won't get prosecuted. I mean, it's a sanctuary city. It's a city that really soft on crime, to say the least. And of course, I mean, most of them, they're stupid, but they're smart enough to put on a mask, so they know the odds of them being caught are even lesser. I mean, again, the iPhones, sure, they can be tracked, obviously, but sneakers, they're not putting chips in those yet, though. For the price, I would argue maybe they should. But again, I mean, they just know they're not going to be prosecuted. They live in a world where there's no consequences. So why wouldn't they continue to steal? You saw this famously in San Francisco, where the CVS's and convenience stores getting robbed left and right in front of. I mean, they're so brazen. They did it in front of a reporter. They just went in there and stole whole shelves of products, threw it in a garbage bag, and walked out. No one stopped them. And as far as I can tell, no one's prosecuted them. It's California. Going down more and more. Again, not always trying to butcher pronunciations intentionally. Samridi, probably, maybe. Now, she says, quote, what is Gavin Newsom going to do about this? Getting 94 likes. Well, he's blaming Trump. He's saying, Trump, how dare you try to come and try to fix this problem? I mean, they will never accept responsibilities for the environments they create. California's been deep blue for decades. I mean, at a certain point, you get what you vote for. And it sucks that there's some, it blows my mind, the Republicans who live in California, the most regulated state in the whole union. They're just all leave California and go to swing states. I was about to say the country be red for decades, but let's be honest, with an open border, who knows? You also have the undercurrent, who says, quote, "This isn't even about protests or principles. It's about a concept called de-individualism. When people lose their sense of self-awareness and personal accountability, usually in a crowd or group setting, they think anonymity, groupthink, emotional contagion. No one will know it's me getting 86 likes," which is a real thing. It's also quite concerning, especially when you see instances where it's not intentionally like a crime. You see instances where abdication of responsibility, especially when someone faints in a crowd or someone is hurt, a lot of people don't think to call for medical attention or intervene because they always think someone else is going to do that. I remember taking EMT classes as a kid, or interested, CPR and those things. The things, one of the first things instructors always drilled into our heads was, someone actually happens to a person, before you help them, you articulately, very specifically point to an individual person and say, you call 911, ask for a medic at this location, to assign the responsibility. Because again, everyone's always thinking that someone else will take care of it. That's also a concerning thing when it comes to big crowds and these types of instances. You also have GC Chopper. There's an AI generated picture of a liquor store on fire, and there's a store that says Father's Day cards and work boots, and the guy is pointing to the Father's Day store, and it says, quote, "Oh, that's odd. Losers skip that store." Getting 98 likes. You also have ISO saying, "Why aren't Mexicans doing this? This doesn't help them. If they want to stay in this country, this is exactly the opposite of what they should be doing. This is the reason they're being deported," getting 51 likes. Now, that being said, there are some people looking at some Craigslist ads where they're actually looking for paid protesters. I suspect that is a contributing factor to these riots as well. I'm not saying it's 100% of those people, but there's someone or something funding people to go, as Maxine Waters would say, cause a ruckus. So it'll be interesting to see. I'll do one more video here. This is credited to Athena saying the fatigue is real. Next week, lefties will be bitching because CVS will be closing all stores in LA. This is from June. This is back from June 9, 2025. And it just says, quote, "A CVS pharmacy was looted amid the ongoing riot."
They're still in there. Ooh! He got the liquor. Make way for Unc. Yo! That dude needs that shit back. Oh, he got the prescription.
One of the thieves. I usually don't, laugh when people get hurt. However, if you're a thief and you fall and you trip while holding stolen merchandise, I'm not going to feel guilty laughing at your expense. Credit to LMFAO. What is this? FLO23 at TikTok as well. And that got 91 likes. And then these same Democrats will cry and go, "Oh no, why is there these food deserts?" Because these businesses lose money and their employees get hurt. I mean, at a certain point, they leave. So it'll be interesting to see if, anything turns around in terms of the culture of Los Angeles or California. And who knows how many other places this might spread. Last quick note. This is from Thomas. He says, quote, "Everyone riots until the roof starts speaking Korean." Getting 36 likes. Which, yeah, I believe it was the 90s during the LA riots or Rodney King riots. There's an instance where, pretty much every part of LA burned to the ground except the Korean convenience store. Because those smart immigrants legal immigrants realized the importance of the God-given right of the Second Amendment. They stood on the roof with rifles. No one messed with that store. An exemplar, great use case of the power of the Second Amendment and defending your God-given right for your life and property. Now, unfortunately, in LA and California these days, they probably actually prosecute the people holding the guns and defending the stores versus the criminals. As crazy as it sounds, we've seen that happen before in other states. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I always hope these places turn around their culture, they get better, and crime and theft goes down, the riots stop. But I'm not very optimistic. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you click that button, I really appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. And lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.